Hello and good evening, everybody. Hey, it's Wednesday, and hope everybody's doing good. And I'll wait a little bit for everybody to get a couple of people to get here. And just wondering how is your week doing, and I was if there's some paranormal investigators out there. I was like your recent investigations. Mine was crazy. I have 2 episodes. Hello, Rich. How are you, bud? And I have a crazy 2-part episode coming. It's in a church. Now it's a spectacle venue. It's kind of a theater. Yeah, they transformed the place into a theater. And it's a very old building, and there's a priest that is buried under the church. So, well, there is basically a crypt, but the real crypt was like kind of demolished because when we went in the basement, it was like dirt mountain. But we had crazy rampart hits. I had hits with my yes no prism, and I thought it was broken, and the sensibility was really close. So to have responses on that apparatus is really special. So great investigation. It was so intense that our medium had to leave at a moment because she was so overwhelmed by emotions. And we were told by the manager of the site that when they transformed the place, sorry if you hear cracking, my girlfriend's walking up there. And when they were renovating the place, transforming into a theater, well, one of the employees decided to, well, grab a Ouija board and play Ouija in the church. So he opened up something. Hey, hello, Tex. How are you, bud? And and they opened up something, and I want to go there, investigate again. And that investigation gave me some kind of a new theory that I have about the energy that we have, like in our brains, that is released um, when we die, and it's that energy that is probably around and is trying to communicate with us. Um, my theory goes is sometimes we communicate with intelligent entities, and I believe that those intelligent entities, well, it's a part of the brain of like the energy that was released was a part of the energy was ding into the intelligence of that individual. So when that energy was released, well, probably when the people passed away abruptly, when that's when an entity could be like really intelligent, and when that energy is released like quickly. So I don't know if you guys follow me a bit. Like if you die from old age, you kind of prepare yourself to death. So you kind of ready to die or pass away, sorry. But when you pass away abruptly by an accident, or if you get killed, or you know what I mean. So that energy is released, but not in a like soft and normal way, but it's kind of like released like suddenly. So that's my theory. Well, I've been studying other investigations, and I find it quite interesting to see that in some places you have like crazy, crazy, crazy activity, but the entities, they don't seem to be like really intelligent. They want to interact, but they are not really intelligent. So sometimes I don't know. I'm just throwing a theory out there. So, and the place, I'm switching to from a subject to another. The place when I went to investigate is related to a legend here in Quebec. And the legend is called, well, in French, it's called La Chasse-Galerie. Well, it's also known as the Bewitched Canoe or the Flying Canoe. It's a popular French Canadian tale about lumberjacks from camps working around the Gatineau River, I think. Yeah, they make a deal with the devil. It's a variant of the Wild Hunt, and its best version was written by Honoré Beaugrand. That was a former Quebec prime minister, and he was an author as well. And it was published in the Century magazine August 1892. So yeah, and that place surrounds that. Yeah, exactly, Tex. Exactly, like a bomb going off. It's like a trickle. It's like slowly liberating itself from the body. So when you die abruptly, that energy is released, like suddenly. And when you pass away slowly, but sometimes, well, you know what I mean. And if you want me to read about the the story, like the larger part of the story about the Chasse Galerie, I have to go on my computer and read a little bit about. So bear with me a little bit. All right. So the origin, the story can be tracked to the French legend about a rich nobleman named Gallery who loved to hunt. He loved it so much that he refused to attend Sunday Mass. As a punishment for his sins, he was condemned to fly forever through the night skies, chased by galloping horses and howling wolves, in a fashion reminiscent of the Wild Hunt stories. When French settlers arrived in Canada, they swapped stories with the native, and the tale of Gallery was combined with a First Nation legend about a flying canoe. In time, bark canoes became associated with French Canadian culture as well. When some of the earliest French Canadians arrived in New York City, they were reported to have landed on on the banks, sorry, of the Hudson River, to the amazement and admiration of the people who had never seen bark canoes in their water before. So French Canadians went to New York in canoes. So, so the story goes. Sorry, my English is a little bit rusted, so helps me to practice a little bit. All right. After a night of heavy drinking on New Year's Eve, a group of voyagers working on a remote timber camp want to visit their sweethearts some 100 leagues, about 500 kilometers away. The only way to make such a long journey and be back in time for work the next morning is to run the chasse galerie. Running the chasse galerie means making a pact with the devil so their canoe can fly through the air to their destination quickly. Sorry. However, The travelers must not mention God's name or touch the cross of any steeples as they whisk by the flying in their flying canoe. If either of these rules is broken during the voyage, then the devil will take their souls. To be safe, the men promised not to touch another drop of rum to keep their heads clear. The crew took their place in the canoe, which then rises off the ground, and they start to paddle. Far below, they see the frozen Gatineau River, many villages, shiny church steeples, and then the lights of Montreal. The bewitched canoe eventually touches down near a house where New Year's Eve festivities are full in swing. No one wonders at the trapper's logger's sudden arrival. They are embraced with open arms and soon are dancing and celebrating as merry as everyone else. Soon it is late and the men must leave if they are to go back to camp in time for work. As they fly through the moonless night, it becomes apparent that their navigator had been drinking as he steered the canoe on a dangerously unsteady course. While passing over Montreal, they just miss running into a church steeple, and soon after up stuck into a deep snowdrift. At this point, the drunken navigator begins swearing and taking the Lord's name in vain. Terrified the devil will take their souls, the men bend and gag their friend and elect another to steer. The navigator soon breaks his bonds and begins swearing again. The crew becomes more and more shaken at the possibility of losing their souls, and they eventually steered the bewitched canoe right into a tall pine. The men spill out and are knocked unconscious. The ending of the story changed from version to versions. Sometimes the men are condemned to fly the canoe through hell and appear in the sky every New Year's Eve. But in all but one version, all escapes the terms of the devil, Lucifer. Several versions of this tales exist. An Acadian version involves an axe handle that stretches to accommodate passengers, and another variation has the devil himself staring and deliberately trying to break the rules on the return journey, at which point they throw him out of the canoe to save themselves. And in Quebec, the best known version is written by Honoré Beaugrand, or former prime minister. This is the story of the Gatineau loggers who make a pact with the devil in order to steal a boat so they can visit their woman. They are warned, however, not to blaspheme, to swear, during the voyage, or touch crosses atop steeples. And they must be back before 6 o'clock the next morning. Otherwise, they will lose their souls. In his version, the devil, Lucifer, is rather generous and allows the men to return unhurt and undamaged. So that's the story about the Chasse Galerie, and it's a legend proper to the Lanaudière region. When I was where the church is situated, is actually in Lavaltrie, Quebec. So yeah, it's loads of history into that. It was an old lordship that dates back to 17. Uh, this year marks the 350th anniversary of the city, Lavaltrie. So they were founded in 1672. So it's pretty old. Most of the, 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 the Hey, Mike, how are you, bud? Didn't see you there. Yeah, and most of the St. Lawrence Valley is very, very old. Well, when the explorers came in, when I told you about that, they came from Nova Scotia, basically, and came around. So, uh, more you come down the St. Lawrence River towards Ontario and towards Western Canada, well, it's younger and younger. So, well, it's still old. It's still old. Eh, Toronto is probably as old as Montreal. So, uh, yeah. And you guys have any questions? You guys have any, I don't know, interrogations about investigations that you saw or something? I know I've seen a couple of good one, and yeah, I wanted to shout um, Cassie from Whipping Willow Paranormal. I will say happy birthday to her son. It's her son's birthday tonight. She couldn't be here. I invited her to come and yeah, chat with you guys. And yeah, unfortunately, well, it's gonna be another day, and didn't want to bother anyone else. So well, maybe one day one creator is gonna call me and say, I don't want to go on your show. Yeah, go ahead, come in my show, and we'll chat about their past experiences in the paranormal and how they got involved in the paranormal and best worst experiences. Yeah, and yeah, and I wanted to tell you guys that I'm going to Nova Scotia. I was supposed to go. Yeah, glad to see you again, man. Yeah. Um, do you go? Do you go places on your own? Well, actually, I went on a couple of places on my own. I went, well, most of the graveyards I do them alone at night. It's kind of it's calmer, and it's easier to hear if like there's a sound, or if you hear walking, or if you try to get an EVP or something like that. I find it easier to work alone, but I like working with people as well. The guys I work with, Matthew, Benjamin, our medium Letitia. She's just awesome. She's just awesome. And when it's too much, she tells us, and she just goes, "Be careful." So, and yeah, and be aware, because pretty soon um you're gonna see them, you're gonna see Matthew and Benjamin pretty soon. Military site, yeah, there's a place right here, actually, Tex. There's a place, we call it Mont Radar. It's an old radar station for from the army here in Quebec. It's actually in I think it's in the Eastern Township region near the border with Vermont, just about, I think. Uh, or is it in Actually, I have a couple of places of abandoned military places here in Quebec that, yeah, I would do it. no problem at all. Like I always say, I'm more afraid of the living than the dead because, well, at this moment right now, I never been injured by an entity or a dead person at this moment. But I've been punched. I've been uh, sucker punched, and I was in Bosnia in 1995 as a UN peacekeeper, so I've been shot at. I have a grenade threw at me, so yeah, and oh, Mike, I'm going to graveyard tour on Sunday. Drummond Hill Cemetery. Yeah, Drummond Hill Cemetery. I want to go there. I want to go there. That's a place where a big part of the War of 1812 happened there. And hello, Cassie. Cassie's there. How are you, Cassie? I hope you're doing good. Yeah, Mike is going. Oh, great, Mike. That's an awesome place. And if you catch anything, if you feel anything, just tell me. And I think Cassie, you went to investigate there. I think I've seen a video. I think it's there on Drummond Hill. I'm not sure. I don't because you have Lundy's Lane and you have Drummond Hill that were a big part of the War of 1812, but Drummond Hill was more in the 1812. Yeah, she did. And I think Drummond Hill was more in the beginning of the war, and Lundy's Lane was about 1814, I think. And that's our Gettysburg. I think that battle in Lundy's Lane lasted for 3 days, just like Gettysburg. It was a bloody battle. It was, yeah. And yeah, and I want to go and investigate there because Mike, I think I think she's Mike, Cassie, Mike is a fellow veteran. I've worked with Mike at when I was in Niagara at Valhalla Project, and get in touch. And Mike, she's a great investigator, man. She's like me. She just like there's something there, but I don't know what it is. I can say, is it a ghost? Is it what it is? I cannot say it, but there's something playing with the machines. Oh, you're in Fort Erie. Okay. Oh, that's a nice place. Another place that I want to investigate as well. And for you Americans, if you want to come to Canada, we have great, great places to investigate. And here in Quebec, well, you have the chance to investigate a church with a crypt under it. You have a place. We have a place. I know. And the problem we have here in Quebec, don't quote me wrong, but we have a big problem here in Quebec. For many years, was the Catholic Church here in Quebec was telling people basically that ghosts were bad. So when you talk about being a paranormal investigator and wanting to do a paranormal investigation and tour their facilities, sometimes they are like, oh no, you're gonna scare our customers. Yeah, but you're in old jail. So, and I was told by an old jail that is like basically probably um she looks like she's abandoned basically, and they're trying to revamp the place, and I wanted to rent out the building to conduct an paranormal investigation, and they refused me, and they say, well, you don't really cope with the direction what you want to give the building. Well, okay, well, it's an old prison, so I won't be the first and I won't be the last to call you and to tell you that I want to investigate the place. And it's the same with like old churches and just old building. Yeah, it's a small world, Cassie, and yeah, and you'll find that you have like a couple of crazy vets like me that likes the paranormal, and Mikey's gonna inherit my drone when I gonna change my sorry, because Bonnie's right there, my service dog. So yeah, he's gonna be the fair owner of my mini SE drone, because I'm gonna upgrade myself to a Mini 3 Pro. Oh, yes, to have 4K drone footage. So I don't want to down uh go I've been filming in 4K and I want to stick to 4K. So my drone is a 2.4K. So I don't want to downgrade to 1080p again. So I want to, and yeah, I just love gadgets. I love my gadgets. So, and I just wanted that Pro. It's so cool. It's so, um, I've seen footage of it. It's, you have more cinematics that you can do with the new Pro. And yeah, Bonnie, she's getting pet and she's just having it. Look at her. Look at that face. How can you not love this face? Just love her. Mhm. I just love you. Yeah, and one of these days I just hope to bring her with me because, well, I'm pretty sure she's going to be one of a heck of a paranormal investigating dog. And yeah, I take her like practically everywhere, because, well, she's good with my anxiety. And yes, I have major anxiety. Like right now, my anxiety is like a thousands. But guess what? I feel good because I'm chatting with you guys. I'm having a great time, and I'm talking about a new passion that I have in the paranormal, and yeah, and it's just overwhelming just to be here and just like having a chat with you guys. And yeah, she's adorable, Cassie. She loves everybody, especially kids. When she see kids, she's a real nutcase. So yeah, yeah, and I just love the paranormal, and it's just not yet, Rich. I want to bring her. I want to bring her because, but she's still, well, I qualify her still of a puppy. She doesn't. She's not two yet. She's gonna be two in January. So next summer, yeah, next summer she's gonna be probably with me in some graveyards, and probably I won't be turning myself around that much to see what's coming behind me. And oh yeah, Mike takes his dog everywhere. He's adorable. And well, Mike saw Bonnie as well. He saw Bonnie in Niagara when I was there as a chef. I was working as a chef in the kitchens, but unfortunately, I had to come back earlier, and well, it sucked a bit because, well, my mother-in-law was like passing away, so it sucked for that. But I met again, again, extraordinary, super nice people, and met Mike and starting chatting with Mike about paranormal, and we just connected. We just connected because uh, I say it and I say it again. Paranormal is a big family, and being part of that family is a privilege. It's a big privilege, and I'm quite honored and humbled to have entered. Well, I'm trying to enter that world through the big door. Hey, I'm at 91 subscribers. I'm just 9 short of that 100. And I just want to get that milestone 100. It's so, I don't know. It's just that 100. It's just um, overwhelming. Yeah. 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 That community is a family. Yeah. And that's what I love about it because when uh, uh, when I was in thanks Cassie, when I was in the army, it's a big family. It's the same thing with the paranormal, and most investigators, they won't hide their secrets. They don't have secrets. It's they will tell you, well, do this way, probably you'll get better results. Don't put too much instruments, because the entities, they don't know where to go because you have too much stuff going on. So, well, it's just it's just common sense. It's helping, like, investigators helping other investigators, and that's it. It's just like uh, police officers that help trying to solve a case. It's the same thing, in my opinion. So, yeah, it's so nice to see, like, other perspective of the paranormal through the eyes of other people. And there are lots of awesome paranormal investigators out there. Oh my God. Oh my God. If most of the investigators would, like, I don't know, share all of their secrets, probably we'd have like more answers. Probably. But who knows? That's why we call it the paranormal. It's not normal. Was saying you put it. Oh yeah, well, the picture, yeah, of Bonnie and Rascal. Oh my God, I'm still a novice to StreamYard to to I'll get it through. I'll get it through. I'll figure out something. I had to call a friend just to put my intro at the beginning of the show so I won't look like an idiot. And I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I just I started editing 3 months ago. I started my channel 3 months ago for real. I I I put it a video before I went to Portugal, sorry, And when I came back from Portugal, well, I was injured, so I couldn't walk. I couldn't do nothing. So, well, I took my brand new iMac MacBook Pro that I ordered before going on vacation, well, on my walk. And when I came back, when I had some footage that I could edit to practice. So I started practicing. So my first real video was my intro. And think I spent like 3 days editing that little like 20 seconds. I wanted it like perfectly, and I had fun and I loved it. And I started editing my first real investigation alone in the St. James Cemetery on the tomb of I call him, yeah, a great soldier, because he went, like, if you were there last live stream, he went through 4 wars. So yeah, the guy is kind of our hero. So yeah, and I went to investigate on his tomb, and I had pretty awesome responses the first time, and I went back, and then I had like that amazing conversation. I don't know if it was James Sinclair, in fact, but if it was another one, but I had an amazing interaction with my mag light, with my flashlight, and it was on command. I know people will say, well, it will go like jump. Yeah, yeah, I know. But for that mag light to light up at the same exact moment that you asked for it, that's pretty odd. To me, it's pretty odd. And well, sometimes it goes for itself. All right, it can jump, spark jump, or jump spark. I don't know. And I know. So yeah, Mike, I have the video. It's on. I'll try to retrieve it. And well, sorry, and okay, that's strange. Well, for this time, well, I'll check it later, Mike. I'll check it later. All right, and I'll try next time to. I'll put it on. All right. I don't know how to do it. I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry. And yeah, so I went back at night and that investigation. And it was something, something. The REM pod didn't go off, but the temperature gauge was giving me reading, like false reading. Like the wind was blowing kind of hot, and it was showing me like it was cold, or is blowing cold and was showing hot. So was it paranormal? I don't know. And afterwards, I went to the same cemetery to investigate the mass grave of 33 soldiers that drowned um, in the 1814. They were reinforcement for the War of 1812. Well, actually, reinforcement that were going in the Niagara Valley. So yeah, and I went to investigate their mass grave, and it was the first time I collaborated with Trinity, sorry, Paranormal Quebec, and yeah, it was nice. Another word work. It's not actually the word to have like a spirit box like blasting all the time, and you can't like even hear you think, hear yourself think that is blasting so hard. But well, people like that. I don't blame them, but I bought myself a noise canceling, the little NC Mini, to to have noise canceling the next time I will use a spirit box. But last investigation, I did a close to 20-minute Estes method. It was mental. I never, at a moment, I had so much voices coming through. I couldn't say what was coming through. I had so much voices. Oh yeah, and just like that around the church that I investigated, it's the cemetery, and the cemetery dates back to the earliest parts of the colony, about 1700s, because the first church was down by the fleuve, by the river, but a massive flood came and damaged the church. So they moved the church up where it is, but the cemetery was already there. So they just built the church where the cemetery was. So, yeah, it was crazy active. Crazy active. My last video was the cemetery of that church that I investigated. And the door in front of it, in where we are situated, well, it's the door to the basement. We thought it was the door to the way to the crypt, but actually, no. That door is an extension to the church, because when you go in the basement, you actually see the foundation of the original church. When you see where they broke the wall through, well, you see the rounded part of the church, and well, the priest is buried right there. But when the the video with the flashlight, yeah, it was something. It was something, and just seeing that flashlight light up on command, or a cat ball. Last investigation, I had a cat ball flash on command, and that was impressive. And I don't want to give you guys too much. I want you guys to watch the video because, well, I'll leave you to judge about it, okay? And Cassie, I will bring you to that church, and I think you will. Well, you won't freak, but you will be surprised by the energy and just by the interaction we have. Like, love to communicate, and they want to communicate. So that's the good thing. And well, there is a bad spirit, but like, it's just to find a way. I just want to do a little fact check. I don't know. During that investigation, I sometimes we have like when you do the Estes method, you have sometimes like people that entities that want you to leave and entities that want you to stay, and we had that on that investigation. And I think it's like the spirit of the priest that is trying to content that bad spirit that is roaming in the church, that portal that that employee opened up in there with that Ouija board. Because when we asked specific questions about if a portal was opened, and we had like direct answers to those questions, and not only through the instruments but through the Estes method. And I think at the employee has to come back and close that portal, because we asked if we could do something to close that portal, and the entity like basically told us no. I want that person to come and close that portal. And yeah, so basically it's that, I think it's the priest. So yeah, and right beside the church you have the residence of the priest, that was there before the church was moved. And I think that before being the residence of the priest, it was the funeral home of the village. And we have access to that building as well. So it's going to be a future investigation. Probably, well, not probably, when I'll get back from Nova Scotia, and I'll try. And you guys probably for this Friday, this coming Friday, I have a video. Next Friday, I have a video. It's part 2 from this. Part 1 is this week. And yeah, and I'll just, yeah, hey, 74 and 62%. Yay. Fast uploading. Yeah, and those parts are there. I'm going for at least 3 weeks. So I'll try to film over there. If I can't, I'll let you guys know. And I don't want to let you guys down. I want to go film some crazy stuff over there. I've reached out to Lomar Metz, I think it's pronounced. Very, very nice guy, and his girlfriend Chelsea. Him and Chelsea are excellent paranormal investigators. And Chelsea, she's a heck of a photographer. Check her out on Instagram, Lacey Decay on Instagram. Check her out. Our pictures are awesome, just awesome. Check her Instagram. All right. And yeah, I've reached out to him, and he's gonna give me a couple of good pins to go and investigate. It did the house over there with Angelo, and I want no, not it's MEDZ. He writes it MEDZ. Yeah, Metz. Yeah, MEDZ. I think. MENDZ. Sorry, Tex. MENDZ. So, yeah, it's Lomar is a very good creator as well. A heck of an editor. Go check him out. He's and all the creators that I follow, check them out. They're all well. I inspire myself from them. I aspire one day to be as good as them. So, and I'm not. Just a moment, because okay, I thought my dog was having a feast into the cat's food. She just loved that cat food. And yeah, sorry. And yeah, I wanted to give another shout to Damon from Paranormal Popcorn TV. He just he shared a link on his Instagram. Thank you, Damon. I just yeah, you've seen, yeah, with Angelo, exactly, Tex. He did. I think Angelo went to spend a week with Lomar. I think it's 2 weeks ago or last week. I think. Well, yeah, I think it was last week, and they did some rando nautica together over there. And yeah, and Lomar brought Angelo to that. Sorry. Oh, it's late. He brought Angelo to that house that Lomar qualifies that house to, no, sorry, the owner of the house qualifies that place like the Randy Savage of houses. It's so intense. And I've checked Lomar and I've analyzed Lomar video, and I heard some stuff. Oh yeah, he seems like, yeah, Tex. Yeah, yeah, he seems like a very cool dude, because I've chatted with him on Discord, and the dude is just, he's great. He's like everybody that I've met through the community. They're all are awesome. I know the girls from Paranormal XP. When I went to Niagara, uh, I wanted to do a collab with them, and they were not in the area at that time. And through them, I discovered Cassie, and I went to see one of her premieres, and just fell in love with the way that they work, their professionalism, um, just um, the ethics that they have, the way that they address the spirits, and they address the entities. It's just yeah, it's just so polite and respectful. And that's what I love about investigators, when you're respectful of spirits. uh, I've seen, well, investigator cursed or try to provoke. Well, I don't know. It's like in real life. If you try to provoke something, you will end up with bad results. So be respectful, and when you're respectful, well, if they want to communicate, well, they'll go through and they'll communicate. So yeah, exactly. It's just being respectful, and just respect the entities that you're communicating with. If they're like kind enough to going to get through, like, to you, well, yeah, thank them. And well, to be kindful of the responses and the feedback that they're giving you. So yeah, and that's when I discovered Cassie, and I've started following her and watching other creators, and I've discovered Cemetery Road Jason, and he's gonna be at 10 o'clock. He's gonna be on, so go check Jason at 10. And Cemetery Men as well, and Karen from Australia. And I've discovered all those great um, people. Thank you, Mike. Thanks a lot, buddy. Yep. And just that community, and it it gives me the kick in the butt to get out of the house, to grab my gear, and go do an investigation, and document it, and bring it back to you guys. And if sometimes I'm sorry about that. I know the Rivière Laga video was bitch ass long, and I really apologize about that. The thing is, I want my investigations to be as accurate and as um, real as possible. So if it's too long, well, like the videos coming, um, I'm gonna do two parts. Like that, if yeah, like I should have done two parts because it's too long. And when the guy, Richard, I think, when he comes by and start to break the atmosphere for 25 minutes, well, I should have taken that part out, or I don't know. So I didn't want to break, like, the camera was on the instruments, and I wanted to, like, give you guys what was happening while we were chatting with that guy, if the instruments were reacting or not. And they were, but not at the point I thought they were. And I think I'm going to start another theory right there. Just have 4 minutes left. Yeah. Last time I did a 35 minutes live stream, but tonight, just an hour. It's going to be enough for you guys, enough for me. And I don't want to, like, start and do, like, too much of a live stream and bore you guys. All right. So bear with me. And yeah, Cassie, I love that comment. It does start a fire when you tease an entity. And the responses are not really what you want when you try to push an entity to interact with you. So, and well, just by being polite, I have lots of responses. You've seen the results. And when, yeah, I'm going all over the place like that. If I cut a video, it's if I move my camera, or if, like, if for 10 minutes there's nothing, I won't put it on. I'm just gonna tell you guys, well, there was nothing for 10 minutes. But I will show in his entity what was going on before and after, when an interaction occurred. Because, yeah, I've seen creators, and I find it sad to provoke, or to, let's say, invent events. Like, have a picture flying off a wall that is right beside the guy, and you can either, like, tap it, or you see a shadow figure. It's actually the banister of the staircase. All those kind of, like, y- y- if you don't have nothing, just say it. It was quiet. You don't have nothing. We're sorry, but sometimes the entity just don't want to get through. That's all. If you have something, or if you are polite, probably the entity will come through and will communicate with you. Because I've seen lots of awesome creators out there. Yeah, debunk all the time. Exactly, Cassie. Debunk all the time. And that's what I want to do. Debunk. And most of the time I will try to debunk it. But there's so much stuff that you can't explain. Like, you put a rampart in some place, and all of the sudden it just go berserk. And when you ask to stop, it stops. That's my odd part. Or, well, I will just give you that tease. And if it doesn't bring you to watch this Friday's video, well, I don't know what will. Um, I just want to go overstep my hour. Um, During the investigation, Leticia, our medium, told us that she was feeling the spirit of a lady that was confused, like she was blind. I went up. Well, there's a balcony in the back of the church, pews, I think. Yeah, back there. And I went up and I sat there. And before she went, Leticia sat behind me and she told me that she was feeling that confused women again. And I told the women, go towards the light. Go see God. He's going to give you your sight back. And through DETCOM, at the same moment, I had can see come through. At the exact moment I was telling the entity to go through to the light and that God will give her sight back, I had can see go come through DETCOM. And DETCOM is an app that works exactly like Spirit Talker. All right. The two only apps that I will use on my investigations are Spirit Talker, and from now on is DETCOM. And DETCOM was developed by Carl Assal and one of his developers. And Carl, well, he was anti-app. He he hated apps. He thought it was fake. Well, he went to grab the same technology that it has in the Oculus 5, I think, and he transformed it into an app. So you use it on airplane mode. So, well, it doesn't disturb anything, but just to have the thing that had got through was like just insane, just insane. So thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody. I well, just two people. I seen that there's some premieres starting right now, so I won't overstep on other people's time. Thank you very much, and like I always say, you guys, I'll catch you on the next paranormal adventure. See you guys.